Hi, my name's Laura Glowis, and I'm an ERP advisor here at Striven. Over the next few videos, I'm going to walk you through service management. In this video, we're going to go over service management. This will cover task creation, task lists, task tools, assignments and tasks, and task communications. Let's get started. Now we're going to take a look at task creation. So you have a few options here. One is you can go directly to the task list. Two is you can go to the quick add and go to task from here. The third option is that you can go directly to the button here that says tasks, and this will take you to the task list. The task list is your own personal task list and will only show you by default ones that are assigned to you. It may also show you ones that are assigned to you as well as other people, but specifically it's only looking for the ones that are assigned to you. So from the task list, we can click the plus sign to be able to create a new task. Here we can choose the type. In this case, I'll leave it as a to-do and put in a task title. In this case, I'll say create agenda. Once I hit enter, it creates the task for me. Now, because this is a to-do, you'll see that it doesn't have that many requirements. And in fact, it only has one header for a customer. It also doesn't have a start date, but it does have a due date, and you can see it's automatically filled out for me for today's date, the 26th. I have the ability to mark this as a private task, meaning that only I can see it. From here, we have the ability to share this task, refresh this task, add attachments, and for the full list, you can mouse over the info button, and it'll show you the full extension list that are allowed to be attached to this particular task, as well as the max file size of 10 megabytes. Once I drag and drop something here, then I can upload it. I also have the ability to check and see if this particular task is linked to anything else by clicking the Link To button. As you can see, there's no records to display, so it's not linked to anything. If I created this task from an order or anything else, it would be linked back to the order or other entity. Here, I can check my audit log to find out what is going on with this task. We can see that it was assigned to me. The status was changed to open. I changed the task type to a to-do. The priority automatically changed to normal, and then I viewed the task, as well as added an attachment. You can also see who it was created by and when, as well as who it was last modified by and when. Next is my checklist. Here I can add little checklist items to be able to track different phases of this particular task. So if I wanted to say create an agenda, I might use steps such as define subjects to be covered. And then I might say something like create presentation notes. Something like that. I have the ability to use a printable view. As you can see, it just lists the two components that are part of this particular task. I also have the ability to print it from here. Now you can see that my checklist now has 2 items attached to it. I can also message within the task to other people within the organization. In order to get my recipients, all I have to do is click into the box and it will give me a drop-down menu. Here I can also type in to find different names within the drop-down menu. So if I wanted to email myself and perhaps Cindy, then I have the option to do so. This also brings up an advanced editor, meaning that you have options like bold, italics, underline, changing the font, changing the indent, adding bullets, and all kinds of things, as well as hyperlinking. Here, I could just say, testing this messaging, please reply. You can see I also have the option to include existing documents, such as my Striven logo, or I can uncheck this box to not include the attachments. Now I can send. I can also change the message type within the message itself by clicking into the status updates box. In this case, I only have 2 options, status updates and general communications. You may find that there are other message types added in as you add in more message types in the settings. From my messages, I can also reply, forward, or create a new message. I also have the ability to filter based on status updates, or general communication as to which I want to see. Here I can view the log as to who has viewed my task, if there were any other people viewing my task. Here I can add time, such as a timesheet, to this particular task, choosing whether to make it billable, who the employee was that worked on it, what the date was that it was done, as well as adding the customer, an item, an order, a task itself, hours, and notes relating to the task. Moving on to our three dots menu, once I click this, I get the options to either duplicate the task, set as a recurring task, email assignees, or unfollow the task, meaning that I will no longer receive any updates on it. I also have the ability to expand the task or close it. As I scroll down further, you can see we can add in a customer, like Betty's Bakery, for example, add any assignees to the task, such as Cindy, or reassign the task using the buttons here. I can also remove an assignee if I need to by clicking the trash can. Here, I have the ability to add in a task description, and if this is not enough space for you or you need to do other things, click here to open the advanced editor, and that will give you your bold, italics, formatting, and the three dots menu will get you more options as well. Below, I have the notes log. Here, I can enter in a note related to the task, such as need to contact customer. You can see that it's now logged the date and time as well as who entered this particular note. Here, you can adjust the priority from normal, high, emergency, or any other priorities you have involved in the tasks. If I click on the task title, I have the ability to change it as needed. The number here is the number that the system assigns to the task and cannot be changed. Next, we're going to take a look at the search options out of the task list. So click the magnifying glass, and from here we can search by task number, something to do with the task title, the task type, the status of the task. Keep in mind that this does not involve custom statuses. This is only the 4 generics that are built into the system. Who the task is assigned to, who the customer is, who the requested by is, the date range in which the task was created or completed, if it was subcontracted work, the status of the work, including recurring tasks, future tasks, and subcontractor not assigned. In this case, let's search for our virus scan tasks. So if I just type in virus and hit the search bar, it should come up with the 2 tasks that are run virus scan. I can also use my task list to create my own due dates to figure out when things are due. So I could say due today, due tomorrow, or due within X number of days, or even on a specific date. For example, if I wanted to look at something due the 30th, I could do that. Clicking the button here allows me to see what's due on the 30th. If I click due within 7 days and hit enter, then I can look for the tasks that are due within 7 days instead of on a specific date. You can add as many of these due within X amount of days categories as you want, as well as add in as many due dates as you'd like. You can sift between them by clicking the different ones and remove it completely from your task list by clicking the X button up here. If you decide to remove a due date filter, you can also hit the trash can to delete it here. Now let's take a look at labels. With labels on the task list, we have the ability to create a new label, such as due today. And you'll see the lock button here allows me to know that this is a private label. If I wanted to make this label public so that other people could see it, I click the 3 dots and click Make Public. Once I do this, I can't set any public labels back to private, so please keep that in mind. I can also make this visible in the portal, meaning that my customers or vendors would be able to see it. You can also delete a label as well as archive it. Let's take a look at our tasks again. Remember our Run Virus Scan task? If I were to label this with due today, and I decided that I didn't want to see this label anymore, but I might use it in the future, I would tend to archive it. If I archive it, it stays on the task. If I were to delete it instead and refresh, you'll see that the label itself goes away because it's no longer in the system. If you take a look at the task, You also have the option to be able to add it directly to a project from here if it's not already, depending, of course, on the type of task that you chose. In our case, support ticket has the project within it. If you just create a to-do, it does not have a project for it since it's considered to be a more personal task. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our next video.